Welcome to the second episode of Kollectiv Knowledge. I'm your host, Shane Barrett. You can find me on Twitter at FFShaneB. And with me tonight is the one and only, the man that actually helped me set all this up. Hashtag pre-production, Rumboyz Robbie. And that was my best impression I could do of him.
What up, Shane? What up, bro? Hey, it's a pleasure to be here with the FF Kollectiv. Excited to knock out this show.
Yeah, man. So thanks for hopping on with me. I know you and I have talked a lot over the last few days, especially about this show. So I really appreciate you being the second guest and getting involved with this. So what we are gonna do tonight, for anyone that's new, is just talk to Robbie and kind of learn how he got started in the fantasy football community, and just really get to know Robbie. So the whole point is to get to know the guest. So here we go. Robbie, first question for you is, when did your first fantasy football league start?
My very first fantasy football league was on sportsillustratedforkids.com when I was 12 years old. And then from there, once I got, about 16, I got to play on the NFL app with my dad and his friends, and then just kept on going and going and going.
Nice. Is that first league still up and running?
I knew that you were going to. No. So sad.
What about the league with your dad?
They still have it going, but I'm no longer a part of it.
Gotcha. That's actually, I don't know if it's similar with ours, but the first league that I ever joined was with my dad when I was 10. He's a medical sales rep, so we were playing with him, I think a couple other medical sales reps, and then the doctors and residents that he worked with. And so that was kind of how I started. Now that league, since, at least to my knowledge, has dissolved, but me and my dad are now in our family league. So we do a family fantasy football league, which is fun. Okay, so do you remember what the league settings were for that Sports Illustrated for Kids league?
I think it was I remember it being only single QB. I think it was very traditional standard scoring. Back then it was standard, so we didn't have all the fancy PPR or anything like that.
Yeah. I think that's how, if I remember right, that's how we started too. So, okay. Yeah. That leads me to my next question. What are your favorite league settings to play? Do you like IDP? Do you like Superflex? Do you like PPR? Hit me with it.
Superflex all the way. Give me Superflex any given day because I get to play with, more aspects of the game.
Okay. What about IDP? Do you play any IDP?
Yes, definitely play IDP. Anything, once again, that adds in having that extra, skin into the game and, being able to wager on more aspects. It makes it more fun, and also test your knowledge a little bit more. You get to expand your knowledge a whole hell of a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the reason I'm in so many damn leagues, is because I want to try and learn as much as I can. So, hey, Fantasy Boardroom, friend of the show, but yeah, so that's the same reason that I'm in a bunch of leagues. Well, we'll say that's the only reason. When, Robbie, did you start making fantasy football content?
The Rumboyz Fantasy Network began October 10th of 2018, and from there we have just been running strong, going on almost 4 years of fantasy action. And yeah, we started just, off of a couple of Cuban cigars and a bottle of rum. And from there, magic has happened. From there, a beautiful company has been born. We've gotten to interview 40 rookies. I've debated multiple NFL analysts. I've gotten to work with some amazing folks. My homie Real Deal right there. Had some amazing sponsorships and
Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight. Promo code
Rumboyz.
Yes, sir.
Download the Sports Me app.
Also, yeah, Sports Me. It's Sports You. So what? Not on the show sheet though, Senor. What's your favorite interview that you've ever done?
My favorite interview that I've ever done, player
Yeah.
or analyst?
Both. Give me player first though. Oh, looks like we're having some technical difficulties with Robbie. Well, this ain't great. Come on now. All right, looks like we briefly lost Robbie. He will get back in here shortly. So I will I'll just chat here. Make sure you guys follow us and subscribe. My podcast is Fantasy Nightcap. You can find that on 6 different platforms currently, including Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Our website is www.ffcollective.com. That is FFKOLLECTIV.com. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, I believe, at FF_collective. And make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page. This will be on there. We've got the Fantasy Boardroom on there. And then if we do any live episodes or episodes of camera with the Fantasy Nightcap, those will get put up there as well. We plan on adding some just little snippets here and there from our analysts. We're building a team, so make sure you come and subscribe so you can get fire content like this. I'm gonna mute real quick to check on. All right. So just to kind of, again, thanks everyone for listening. The whole point of this series is to get to know people in the fantasy football industry. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Jeff, I don't know. He lagged out. And I haven't heard back from him. So either his phone died or he lost connection, one of the two. So I'm going to keep rambling here until I can get an answer from him. What's up, Geek Mill? How you doing, Jeff? Think Jeff will be a guest on this show eventually. Jeff Lambert was our first guest and will be coming on shortly. So let's talk Cam Akers. First and foremost, prayers up to him for a speedy recovery. I absolutely hate that this happened so early, relatively early in the offseason. Simply because his career, if you look at the research that's been done, the return from an ACL or an Achilles for running backs is not very high. Now, a lot of that was in years prior, and medicine has advanced since then. And Akers is only, I think, 22, maybe 23. So hopefully with that, he's got the ability to to make a return, and come back strong. Not necessarily stronger, because I did see a tweet today where it said people that typically tear their Achilles lose about 50% of their power. Yet it does suck that he was on his rookie contract, Jeff. But I think most of them, Bethany, were actually 25 or younger. I'll have to check that. And yep, totally agree, Jeff. And I hate it because his career is completely altered by this this injury. And looking past that to, like, what do the Rams do? What do you do for your fantasy teams? I think one of the things that you need to go do if you're the Cam Akers owner is try and acquire Darrell Henderson. I don't know. I wouldn't pay a future first round pick for Henderson. If you're the Akers owner, just be patient. The water is still muddy. The dust is still settling. So for me, that means you've got to just be patient. Don't try to panic sell him, or even panic replace him, especially if you're in a contending team. Don't try to panic replace him, because if you're a contending team, from what the few samples I've seen today, he's your running back 3-ish, and the other, like, because you're contending, you've got depth at that position. So just hold on trying to replace him for right now. Let the water settle, and exactly, Jeff. And Jeff said, "Don't overact like I almost did." I had to. There was another group chat that I'm in where I think we were talking down Justin Wright, from panic selling and to try and replace him. If you're contending, you got there for a reason. Make the smart move. Don't overreact. Don't panic sell. You'll be fine. So with that, I am still checking my DMs. Still got nothing. Gonna text him. All right. And I will probably be ending this shortly, but we did get a little bit of content from Robbie before he hopped off. Again, make sure that you follow us and subscribe on YouTube, on Twitter, and on our website. Yep. We will reschedule with Robbie for sure. Be looking out for our next guest. I'll give you a little hint. She loves kickers. And on that note, I'm going to end it. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Hope you have a great Jeff, I'll answer that question actually before I wrap up. Yeah. Fox. Shh. Yeah. So, Jeff, I really like that offense. I liked it obviously before the Akers injury. I think Stafford is a complete upgrade at quarterback for that offense. So for this, from the injury perspective, though, I think Higbee does get a little bump. Stafford might get a little bit of a bump just because they may have to throw a little more depending on what the running back room ends up being. But then for me, this solidifies Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods as easily both top 24 wide receivers, potentially top 15 for both. I could see it happening just because they're both that good. And Stafford is going to be the best quarterback that they had. It's Robbie. He's back.
I had to fucking grab the charger. Okay, so the question you asked, my favorite interview, player or analyst?
Yeah, I said both, but give me player first.
Player first, fuck. Probably Terry McLaurin, analyst interview. My favorite analyst, fuck, it's a tie between the homies Marcus Grant and Pat Fitz. I love both, and they have both been great mentors to me in my career.
Awesome. I love that. Why did you start making content?
Because I got tired of all the other personalities that were on. I felt a certain type of way, and I felt that there's ability for something different to be provided. I felt that they held a lot back. I feel like most sports fans, they don't talk the way that the suits talk. They talk how I talk, how you and I talk.
Yeah.
If you wanted to hear that all day, about your sports content, and whenever you talk about sports and you get to interact with people that talk about sports, you would just sit at work at your work desk and, talk to customers. Like, no. So
yeah,
I did something different.
I love it. What is your favorite thing about the fantasy football community?
The camaraderie. I like how everyone comes together to support each other. But I mean, at the same time, that's a gift, but it's also a curse. So I appreciate both sides of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the camaraderie. I was actually pre-show. I was DMing someone. I'd noticed that it was Brett Brito, Dad Bod Brett. I had noticed that he'd been interacting a lot with my tweets lately, so I just sent him a thank you. Like, hey, I realized you've been liking and retweeting my stuff a lot lately, so I really appreciate that. And I feel like that part of it needs to be more active in the community.
Really quick, I'm in a meeting with one of my interns, and he just brought me a shot. So, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the rum boys and girls. What it do, dilly dilly, sports me. This is for you, the collective crew. This is for you,
dilly dilly.
I cannot believe you did that.
Okay, so Robbie, before we move on to the rapid fire questions, what are some hobbies that you have outside of fantasy football?
That I'm allowed to say on air?
Yes.
I'm a connoisseur of plants.
Okay, we'll leave that up to interpretation. And we are going to move on to our rapid fire questions. So this is a new segment. I am going to try and do this for every episode, and the questions will probably change it up. But we're going to hit these rapid fire, Robbie, and then wrap it up. So first off, who's your favorite NFL team?
Washington football team.
Very nice. Except that you're in the NFC East. And favorite sport that is not football?
MMA.
Interesting. Favorite food?
Wings and pasta. There's a tie between the two.
Oh, what wing sauce? What's your go-to wing sauce?
Buffalo. Oh, I hate rapid fire sessions. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Favorite movie?
Bad Boys 2.
Nice. And finally, your favorite band?
It's a musician and it's Tupac.
Okay. That's an acceptable answer. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this episode of Kollectiv Knowledge. We ready
for more rapid fire. I was ready for you to just because like you know me so well. I was like, oh fuck.
We will I'm totally lost my train of thought. We'll wrap it up here. Robbie, where can people find you? Where can people follow you? And what are you working on?
Rumboyz.com. Find me on the Sports Me app. The Sports Me app is the newest, fastest way that all of us can share our fantasy football ideas around not just fantasy football, but like any sport for that matter. I've gotten involved with this project and helped creating a lot of like, the new tech and stuff that's coming so that we can all have a space and a voice to, we'll just show our faces and show our content and show our talent. Trolls, you're invited too if you want to show your face. Come talk your shit, come debate. JL, I love you. JL, I got some funny shit to tell you later, bro.
Yes, he does. I witnessed it. I love it too, JL.
I'm gonna send it in the Thieves chat, you dig? But check me on the Sports Me app. Like that's like really, really, really the most important thing that I'm driving home. By football season, by the end of football season, by Super Bowl, I want to hit 1 million users.
Ooh, challenge accepted, fantasy football community. Can we get to 1 million users on the SportsMe app by the end of the football season? I think we can do it. Robbie, totally off script here. Tell us one thing about you that the fantasy community does not know, but should.
I'll say it like this. Everybody goes through shit, and I go through shit. I'm human just like you. I'm not fucking perfect. And you already know, everyone knows that about themselves, but we tend to hold other people at higher expectations, and higher regards. And I'm human. Like, I'm about to go chill at this Buffalo Wild Wings, eat some wings, drink some beers, holla, do a couple things. I'm human just like y'all. I'm not fucking perfect by a long shot. So that's what I want people to know, is that I'm human and I go through things just like everybody else.
Absolutely. And on that note, I'm gonna top off on that. Because you never know what people are going through, just be a decent human being.
Already.
Treat people how you want to be treated. Be nice. Build people up. Don't tear each other down. I know there's a right way, especially in this community, and I think that's why SportsMe is great. But there's a right way to have a disagreement and still come out friendly and liking each other on the other end. And that gets forgotten a lot, I feel like, in our community and in society in general. So that's what we're gonna leave with today. So absolutely, JL. Robbie is one of the best at that. And you never know, or you always know what Robbie's thinking and feeling, because he's real. He's 100% true to himself 100% of the time, and that's why we've become such great friends over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Because we both know you're getting the real Robbie and the real Shane. Nothing holding back. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the second episode of Kollectiv Knowledge. Thank you for joining me and Robbie. Again, make sure that you follow me at FFShaneB, at Fantasy Nightcap, and at FF_collective. Check out our website, www.ffcollective.com. Like and subscribe our YouTube page for more content like this and more content in general. Thank you for joining. Have a great night.